You're obviously going to say Arsenal win the league.
No, I wish.
You don't think they're going to win the
Man City
league?
are going to win this league.
Oh,
I know, Man
first
City.
time you spoke sense today.
Who do you think's the fourth team in this top four then?
I'm going to say Spurs.
But who do you think it is?
I will start Saka, I will bench Palmer, and I will drop Foden.
I mean,
And I love Foden.
Lord.
Yes.
Lord of what?
Lord of what?
Lord of the
He
Rings.
ain't even Lord of his yard. Literally nothing.
about?
There is nothing regal about that. How can you call that man a lord? There is nothing particularly impressive about him. There's nothing particularly innovative about the way that he does his business. There's nothing particularly impressive about the way that Tottenham Hotspur play. There's nothing.
What are you going on about?
What on earth are we doing?
What are you going on about?
Lord Postecoglou.
Yes. Fraud, mate. Fraud.
The worst.
Fraud.
The
I
worst.
mean, go on, you.
No, I mean like one of the worst signings that Chelsea have ever made. One of the worst Premier League signings of all time, I think.
Do you know why though? It's almost like why I find it difficult to get into a relationship now. Your past relationship is there and you can't move on. And then the moment you go on holiday and you move on, before you know it, you're 2 points off the title and you was one of the key components. And you look back at your past, they're sixth in the conference. That's you, man.
Right, top four predictions, lads. Obviously, there's going to be an argument here, but I think we can all agree that it's going to...
Yeah. 3 places are nailed on.
3 places is going to be Man City, Arsenal and Liverpool, right?
No doubt.
It's just where they finish, right? You're obviously going to say Arsenal win the league.
No, I wish.
You don't think they're
Man
going to win the
City
league?
are going to win this league.
Oh, I mean,
I know, Man
first time you
City.
spoke sense today.
Man City are winning the league. I'm just here to enjoy the moment emotionally.
I'm surprised you said that.
Yeah, I thought Leonardo DiCaprio was going to live in Titanic, and then you just watch it, and you're like, oh, you could have just moved off a bit, and you could have saved her life, but you didn't. But bye, Jack.
Right.
So it's a bit like Arsenal, man. Like,
It's a City
Jack.
in the league thing.
yeah, man.
You?
So I'll be honest, I thought it was going to be Arsenal season. I did, but when after 3 games, I'm watching Man City, and I'm like, they're just on another planet, man. Like they're just so good.
It's
like
Haaland, isn't it?
Haaland, he's fit, he's strong, like he's scoring goals.
No international football has done in the world of good, hasn't
He's
it?
had no international football. He's had a break, and I'm just like, mate, they're on another planet.
Then
Pep just knows. I just thought they might have took their foot off the gas, but nah.
They signed Gundogan.
Yeah.
Gundogan's been in Spain moaning about a lack of hunger for 1 year, and then goes back to Man City. That's a frustrated man. We can't. Yeah, well, what a Man City.
So who do you think's the fourth team in this top four then?
I'm going to say Spurs.
But who do you think it is?
Well, I'm going to say Spurs.
Yeah.
It could be Aston Villa. It could be Chelsea.
Yeah.
I don't think it will be after watching you against Palace. I'm going to back Spurs and say Spurs. But I'm a Spurs fan.
The team you didn't mention, is there a world in which, bearing in mind long season ahead, maybe Ruud van Nistelrooy takes over, maybe...
Don't even mention Man United.
Is it worthy of
Forget Man
consideration?
United, mate. They're
Not-
a million miles off it.
Really?
They're a million miles off it. They ain't got the mentality.
What are Man United going to do?
Potentially finish fourth.
From time their manager is a politician who tries to convince a group of people that winning a trophy despite finishing 8th is a great season, that's enough for me to know I've been misled too many times in my life for me to even believe anything this bald-headed man says. I believe he is not bald-headed because he wants to be. I believe this is just what happens when you lie too much. It's like Pinocchio. The nose grows, but his hair just falls out. So now he has no hair.
He is hiding behind the FA Cup. Big
Bruv.
time. Bad. Really bad.
It was a historic FA Cup win, though. Stopped Man City
Yeah, but
winning
Man
the...
City was still
Bruv.
celebrating. Like,
I remember when
Premier
Wigan won
League.
the FA Cup and got relegated. You don't see anyone going, do you know what? Give him back the Premier League. No, bro. Like, if you cannot prove yourself over the course of 38 games,
Yeah, I agree.
I don't give a damn what you're able to do in 3 months. I saw Chelsea have a terrible season and win the Champions League. No one goes, that team's going to go on and win the Premier League. But if you have a very good Premier League, you then take a look at it and go, that team is well prepared for the following season. Hence the reasons why Arteta's job's not under threat. But Ten Hag, yeah, his job's more than under threat.
So in no particular order, Man City take up a space, Liverpool take up a space, Arsenal take up a space. We need a fourth team.
I'm going Villa.
Villa do it again.
I believe in Villa.
Emery, man. Emery's wicked.
He's a brilliant manager and he's signed some good players. But obviously, I'm going to say Spurs.
Yeah, but
Don't try and put words in my mouth like I'm saying it like I don't believe it. But I believe Spurs are going to finish fourth.
Okay, by that logic though, I just go Chelsea. But we know.
Yeah, but you don't believe that.
No,
I
don't think Maresca can do it. But I think Maresca's got more chance than Postecoglou.
No way.
I think even you know that.
No way.
No, I think Chelsea have got a really good side, and I think they're going to hurt a lot of teams. But watching them at home, they still can't find a way to win games. Spurs at home win games. They know how to win. They get results, and I think Spurs will finish top 4. I do.
Chelsea.
It could be Aston Villa.
If you're not going to play the game properly, I'm not. Chelsea.
Well then, you know,
I disagree though, because I don't think you have a chance at top 4. I believe Spurs have a chance at top 4.
Chelsea have more of a chance than Tottenham. That's guaranteed.
That's because of your history.
Guaranteed. What are you talking about?
You're looking at history and you're hoping that plays a part.
History teaches us about the future.
And what has history taught you so far about this future for you?
It taught me that Tottenham won't get into the top 4.
That's not what history teaches me.
Okay, your Villa shout is actually a really sensible one, you know. Could it could Newcastle? We haven't mentioned Newcastle.
No.
No.
I watched them against Spurs. I said, this team is shocking, bruv. Shocking.
They ain't been great.
Do you think Villa will be able to juggle the...
Well, that's what we'll see. Champions League.
Yeah.
Because the difference... This is the problem, right? In the Champions League, you can't rest your best players. You have to play full tilt.
That's true.
Every week.
That's true.
Tottenham can play 2 teams. So you've got the Europa League, and he's going to back himself and Postecoglou to change the team and play, Archie Grays, your bench players, your Kulusevskis, players that come off the bench. He'll play them in the Europa League. In the Champions League, you can't do that. Arsenal got to play their best team. Villa have got to play their best team. Liverpool got to play their best team. So actually, when that starts, and there's a lot of games, you've got 8 games now, group games, that's where you'll see who's got the squad. Who's got the squad to do it on a Tuesday, and then do it on a Saturday, and then go again. Spurs will be able to change players. That's why I think Spurs will finish 4th.
And we're in the Conference League, so we can do it to an even greater degree.
Oh, that's easy. That's lightweight.
You nearly got knocked out by a napkin.
See, I'm calling them serviettes somewhere else as well. Do you know what I mean? It's not going to be so easy. This is bad.
You were terrible.
Chelsea are going to do it. Chelsea are going to do it. And we all agree that Chelsea have more chance of doing it than Tottenham.
Honestly, man, I'm bored.
The podcast is shit.
Right, start, bench, drop. I'll ask...
Who are the players?
Saka, Palmer, Foden.
Nobody can be dropped.
I can go first. Yeah, I can go first. I will start Saka, I will bench Palmer, and I will drop Foden.
And
I love Foden.
I would start Foden, bench Palmer, drop Saka. I don't believe that.
You're such a Spurs fan. Look to the Spurs bias in
I don't even believe that myself. You can't.
Can I abstain? Can I abstain from this? This is the impossible task.
Why?
Saka, Foden, Palmer are the 3 icons of the Premier League in England. So, you cannot separate them.
You can, because the England manager does it. Well, Cole Palmer came off the bench in the final, Geezer. I believe it's a possibility. Exactly. So he was separated at some point.
Okay,
mate. There was a separation.
Palmer starts. Saka is on the bench, and Foden mentally is dropped.
It's an unrealistic scenario. Don't be too attached to it.
I know.
We move on very seriously here.
Wonderful. Taking it really seriously.
We've got to move on.
Right.
Here we go. Reece James, Trent, or Kyle Walker?
Well, if Reece James is fit, Reece James is the first name and only name that matters here. Reece James is fit, he is far superior to either option.
Rory, shut up, mate.
That's the guarantee, right? That's not even controversial.
Kyle Walker's unbelievable. He's an unbelievable career.
No doubt. But he's not better to play than Reece James if Reece James is fit.
For that reason, Kyle Walker's first for me.
He was married.
Kyle Walker.
Damn it, he was married.
Your marriage argument doesn't hold up with Kyle Walker.
Oh, Kyle, man, you ruined my thing.
Your whole argument has collapsed.
I don't know. Because of the argument, he's lost. I can't use him.
I would go start Kyle Walker, bench Trent, drop Reece James.
Ridiculous.
Can't
Reece James starts. Kyle Walker is on the bench. Trent Alexander-Arnold is dropped.
I would start Trent, bench Reece, and me and Kyle Walker going for a little rave. So, don't worry, Kyle Walker. It's all about tomorrow.
William Saliba, Virgil van Dijk, Mickey van der Ven.
Go on. Do it. Be an honourable man here. Do this. Be the man that you want to be.
I would start Virgil van Dijk. I would drop William Saliba, and I would... Actually, that's not true. I would start Virgil van Dijk, I would bench William Saliba, and I'd drop Mickey van der Ven.
Agreed.
The reason I say that is because I think he's a brilliant player, Mickey van der Ven, but pace gets him out of trouble. And if he hasn't got pace, is he anywhere near as good as these two centre-halves? I don't think he is. But we'll see. Hopefully he proves me wrong, but we can't put them in the same bracket.
I agree with your order there.
But listen, the fact that after one season, that's the conversation he's in.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Mickey's such a good player. Such a good player.
What about the keepers here? Vicario, David Raya, Robert Sanchez.
I don't care what happens. You can start them, you can drop them all. I don't care about these keepers. One is Jamaican Spanish. One, David Raya, I can't get over the Brighton thing.
Who's better, Raya or Vicario?
Vicario.
I don't know, you know.
Bro.
Vicario last season was good. He's not that great now. There's a few question marks coming about him.
You're not a fan of Raya?
Raya's good.
I'd say David Raya start. I'd start David Raya, bench Vicario, Robert Sanchez, not even in the question.
No.
There's little things he does that I just can't forgive. I don't forgive when you save the ball and you parry the ball in between the sticks. Let it go far. Let it go in the stands. Don't save the ball when it's in João Pedro's path. Now it's 1-1. And now Man City are winning the league in August. It doesn't make me feel good, Rory.
I feel.
Will there be a competition?
Raya starts, Vicario's on the bench, and Robert Sanchez is nowhere near.
Yeah, forget
Raya can't be on the bench, and Sanchez, he's half Jamaican. Trust me, he definitely can't be on the bench. Just let Vicario be on the bench and start at the same time.
Nicholas Jackson, Kai Havertz, Dominic Solanke. Start, bench, drop.
It's quite easy, this one.
I mean, I'd start Kai Havertz. I think you have to give him his credit where it's due.
Of course.
Especially going to Arsenal. Arteta's got the best out of him. I'd start Havertz. I would bench Solanke. I'd drop Nicholas Jackson.
Makes sense.
Kai Havertz didn't score from open play for 20 games last season. Half the season. The season that Arsenal fans like to rave about for Kai Havertz. He went 20 games, only scoring a charitable penalty at Bournemouth.
Do you know why, though? It's almost like why I find it difficult to get into a relationship now. Your past relationship is there and you can't move on. And then the moment you go on holiday and you move on, before you know it, you're 2 points off the title and you was one of the key components. And you look back at your past, they're 6th in the conference. That's you, man. So Kai Havertz has to start. He also started for Germany in the Euros. This is a man that is
To be
loved.
fair, didn't
play well
Nicholas
for Germany,
Jackson
didn't
score
he?
18 goals last season?
Didn't play, yeah, he did. He
3 of them were against 9-man Spurs. I don't even know if that counts. This should just be one.
Kai Havertz can't be the starter here. No
Why?
way. Because he's not.
Wow, them 3 years.
Yeah, it's not like in
he
life,
is.
but here,
Dom
100%.
Solanke had the best season out of the 3 last
I know,
season.
mate, but he's got to do it at the top. Kai Havertz done it at the top last season for Arsenal. He done it at Bournemouth. No disrespect, but there's different levels.
I just can't do it.
Different levels.
I refuse.
Dominic Solanke's going to get 20 this season, though.
I hope so.
Kai Havertz is not. Just no.
Right, lads, we're going to do Lord or Fraud. I'm going to just throw out some names, and you got to tell me whether they're a Lord or a Fraud. Simple answers. I'll start with Mason Mount. Lord.
Yes.
Lord of what?
Lord of what?
Lord of the
He
Ring.
ain't even Lord of his yard.
But basically, you shouldn't say that. I was with this young man, 2018, in Russia. I remember himself and I think Bowden. They came over to do some stuff, and everyone in the England camp rated them. And I watched his career at Derby, early days at Chelsea. This guy is a baller. It's just the past year, I think that's circumstances that anyone would struggle in. And I think give him a fresh season and judge him, because we've got more reasons to love him than hate him. I understand why you hate him.
I've none.
You should, of course, you're a Chelsea fan. I get it.
Mason Iscariot, and he is a complete fraud. And to be totally frank with you, to him and to his father, old Tony Mount, who was over the moon at the move to Manchester United, I'm delighted with the way that it's gone at that club.
Right, next one, Richarlison. Yeah, I mean, look, I think we can all agree he's been a poor signing.
Yes.
Doesn't score goals, injured, lacks anything about getting in the side and doing something for the team. I'm bored of talking about Richarlison. I feel
You
like
seen his tattoos? Have you seen
yeah,
his
the tattoos are not
Amazing.
great. Well, I
My
can't
tattoos
really
are not
argue.
great, no.
Yeah, mine aren't the best either. You know, we've all been there and had
He's
bad
just
tattoos.
not. He's just
Uber
not
tattoo.
capable.
I don't know. Like for Brazil in that World Cup, he's scoring
Scored
goals.
some
you're thinking,
beautiful
oh,
goals as
mate,
well.
you're
Best
thinking,
goals
what
in
a
the
player!
tournament. Yeah.
Who are the
And
centre
then
backs?
He turns up for Tottenham and
Name his dad. Exactly.
turns up for Tottenham. He just doesn't do the business, mate. It's so frustrating. £60 million. It's been a lot.
60 mil.
60 million.
That has to be a fraud.
Fraud.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
Rashford, this is difficult.
Yeah, Marcus Rashford. Oh, I'm so on the. You're going fraud.
All right, let me talk about. I know I keep saying
I'm
it.
going
You
to
lot think
go
I'm joking.
fraud for. I'm going to go for fraud for the last 2 seasons.
But hear me out.
Yeah.
He's currently single. And I know you lot think I'm joking, but honestly, look, no. Go and take a look when Marcus Rashford has his misses. What happens? I promise you.
So do you think
this
it's always
is
this
proof.
simple? This is the recipe for success, regardless.
The recipe for success is
to get married.
You have to be settled. There has to be a solid foundation.
You can be settled and be on your own, you know.
You can, but Marcus Rashford can't.
I mean, the player that Marcus Rashford is today, though, it's just a shadow of the man that was like top goal scorer for England at the World Cup.
Yeah.
Those 30-goal seasons for Manchester United. It all feels such a long time ago. And ultimately, you've got to give him a fraud.
Do you believe that if you worked in a establishment like this casino and you were having a great time and then Ten Hag became manager, do you think for a year and a half you'd have a good time? Because I can tell you, I don't think you would.
I agree with that to a certain degree.
I agree with you.
So when we change the
he has to take
circumstances-
some responsibility as well, though.
Yeah, he does.
What, all 24 of this? At one point, we've got to look at this United team and say it always can't be the players. Honestly, I think in their situation, it's very unique circumstances. And then when I see Rashford outside, I reckon that he'll be good for England. And most importantly, when they change their
I've been a
gapper,
massive fan of him. I am
Rashford's a
massive
player,
fan
bro.
of him, it's actually sad to see how
This
bad
is
he's
sad.
playing. Like the other day, he's driving forward and then he like almost bottled it going past someone. I'm like, that is not the Marcus Rashford that I used to see. He used to get it, push it past someone, run, do something with it. Now he's like scared to go past the player. You've seen that with Sancho. You've seen it with him. You've seen it with Anthony. I mean, something's going on at Man United.
something is going on at Man United.
Right, Enzo Fernandez. Fraud, mate. Fraud.
The worst.
Fraud. You know what I mean, go on, you
No, I mean, like one of the worst signings that Chelsea have ever made. One of the worst Premier League signings of all time, I think. Simply because of the money, the expectation, what people were saying. Oh, he changed the game against Mexico, that goal that he scored for Argentina in the World Cup, put them on the right. And whether that's true or not, he has been a woeful footballer for Chelsea. Like, one of the worst. Chelsea's best midfield doesn't have him in it. Conor Gallagher was so much better than him. The only time that we found any form last season was when he got injured. Enzo Fernandez got injured towards the end of last season. We started battering teams. We battered Tottenham, we battered West Ham, we battered Everton, all because he was no longer in the team. The disgraceful situation that's happened since, they have made him captain.
Can I ask you a question?
It's the worst thing that Enzo Maresca has done.
Yeah.
To make him
signing.
captain, it's such a pitiful move.
I hear you, but you said you battered loads of sides without him last season. What was Wolves' score?
This season,
Yeah.
6-2.
Did he play?
Yeah.
Next player.
Yeah, but in the first half, he was terrible.
Let's give it time. I just like to give things time.
Kai Havertz.
He's a fraud. He's a fraud, Kai Havertz. And you,
Nah, mate, come on. You can't say he's a fraud
Jamie,
now,
you
Rory.
played the game. I've said it. I've said
you
it all
can't
along.
say he's a fraud.
I said it when he was at Chelsea.
He's gone to Arsenal and he's done the business. You can't say he's one of the most
scored
important
no
players.
goals
Just
in the
because-
first half of the season,
Just because
20
you didn't know how
games.
to get the best out of him, you can't sit here and say
You
he's a
don't know how
fraud.
to get the best out of
What are
him.
you talking
Germany
about?
can't
They're
get the
getting
best out of him. What? This is the
He
best.
scores every week.
You're the type of man that break up with your gal and when you see her having great life on Instagram, you're like, she's not having a good time. Big man, she's got more likes now. She's happy.
That's probably true.
Ask my brother on TikTok. He knows.
Look, he isn't anywhere near the player that people think he's going to be. Like when Chelsea signed him, everybody was telling me how brilliant he was in the Bundesliga, how many goals he scored. People were talking about Ballon d'Ors and things like that. He's nowhere near that.
All right, do you know what, Jamie? You're actually a baller, bro. How difficult is it being a player under several different circumstances, such as
difficult.
moving different clubs, moving to a different country, and then several different managers? How do you compartmentalize all of them situations
It's
and then
hard.
still go on the field and perform?
Yeah, it's hard. You need to be relaxed. You need to be settled, as you say. You need to have a wife. I don't know if that's so true, but
theme of the day.
you definitely need to be settled. You need to be in a good environment, and I think you need to have a manager who obviously you know is going to back you. One thing with Kai Havertz, since he's gone to Arsenal, he knows that Arteta's going to back him. And even when there was people saying, pundits and all that saying, he ain't scoring, he's not doing this, Arteta come out straight after the game, Kai Havertz is my man. And eventually, you can't say it's been a mistake. It's been a great time. Chelsea, in a few bad games, people start moaning about him, and all of a sudden he loses his confidence.
It can still be a mistake. The only reason it's not a mistake is because people like Leandro Trossard and Bukayo Saka are so ruthless in front of goal that they make up for his failings.
Did you remember the game at the end of last season?
I disagree.
Look, every now and
He
again.
killed you, man!
We committed suicide that day, man. We were
Oh
terrible.
my lord, I forgot he ran past you. I'm buried in top bins.
We were terrible
This
that day.
is
Put your foot. Put your foot.
He's a
down,
fraud.
mate.
He's a fraud.
Put your foot.
Basically, he's just
Put it down,
incredibly.
mate. Let it go.
I won't let it go.
Let it go.
You're married. Why are you
Rory,
behaving
let it
like
go.
this?
I won't let it go. He's incredibly fortunate that Arsenal have so many other ruthlessly efficient players that they can make up for his failings. That's why you'll see. The reason why they're going to struggle is because of players like Kai Havertz.
What do you think of
I
Haaland
won't let it
today?
go.
Next player.
Right, Højlund.
Oh, that's hard.
This is what?
I'm going to go.
Kai Havertz and this is hard.
Oh, we're all going fraud, yeah.
Yes.
You know what?
First hat-trick.
Here's my take on it. He hasn't done the business yet. I think he will. He's still young and he's got a lot to offer. The problem he's got is he's playing in a team that don't give him the ball and they don't create chances for him. If he was at Man City or if he was at Arsenal or was at Chelsea maybe, I think he'd score loads of goals. But at Man United, he's got wingers who don't want to give him the ball.
Do you not think,
it's
though,
almost impossible for him to score goals.
is there not a situation where it's up to him to make more opportunities? Like, you can't constantly talk about the service, can you? Does he not?
Yeah, but
need
if you're
to...
not that player, you're not that player. He's not a striker that's going to make himself a chance. He needs someone to give him chances,
Yes.
and he's going to get in the box and get on the end of them. If you ain't got wingers who are going to create chances for you, then what chance you got?
Jamie, can I ask you a question? Like, obviously, again, you was a baller, bro. If someone is 20, 21 years old and makes this big move and it goes this badly,
Yeah.
how does that affect their development moving forward?
Well, it's going to hurt him. I think eventually, I think he'll come through it. I think you learn a lot as well when it's not going well for you. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think you have to dig deep. You have to keep going, find a way to get through it. And, trust in your ability that you're going to score goals eventually. And I think he will. And I think he's got that mentality
Yeah,
about
it's
him.
fraud for now, isn't it? He's so young.
I think for now he's a fraud, but I think he's got the
yes.
mentality and the confidence and the talent to find a way to make it work.
Agreed.
I like that, yeah. But for now, United, fraud.
Yeah, he is. Casemiro.
Oh, he has to be a lord, right?
It's over, man.
He has to. It is over, but
I'm gonna
he's
go.
also part of the best midfield to have ever exist. Like, we can't give this man the fraud.
Yeah, but
type.
you have to judge him on his Premier League and Man United. Is he a fraud?
Overall at Man, I think it's over. But overall at Manchester United, has it been bad?
Yes. His missus has been worse. Get off Instagram telling him, look at the trophies he's won. I don't care.
Missus got back you though.
Yeah.
I did like that.
Oh, Bella Silva
I didn't
was
see that.
fantastic for that.
Yeah,
But he's married, committed. I hear it.
I'm giving him a lord. I appreciate it hasn't worked out here, but he's an icon.
Yeah, he's an icon at Real
much,
Madrid.
man. Yeah, exactly. You got to move
Yeah,
on, man.
Nicholas Jackson.
There's no middle.
Lord.
I mean, come on, lads.
He's a lord. He does a lot of good things.
I hear that as well. You can go middle.
You got middle. Yeah, I'm going here.
Go middle.
He's done a lot of good things. They just aren't the
Rory,
things that
I've
he
not
was
agreed
supposed
with you on any of that.
No, you've been a problem. You've had a mayor. I suggest you've had a mayor.
Quite painful.
No, you've been problematic throughout.
This is actually quite painful.
You've been
Come on,
problematic
mate.
throughout.
Like, listen, I work with you a lot, right?
Mr.
And normally
O'Hara.
you talk sense, but what are you
I don't know
talking
what's happened
about?
to you today. You're giving me a migraine. I'm sitting here. I'm like in a
You can't
daze.
say Nicholas Jackson is a
They're
lord.
married. This is
I don't.
Can we be settled?
You've just called Nicholas Jackson
He's a
a
fraud.
fraud alongside Casemiro. They just two can't be part of the same thing. Lord, it just hasn't worked out for him yet, but it's coming.
Do you know what? Jesus also came back twice as well, so maybe it's coming. Second
Right, here we
coming.
go. We've got a few more. Raheem Sterling.
Lord of mercy.
Lord, mate, you watching me and then just
I mean,
altering
listen,
your.
like if we're gonna judge people on what they've done in recent times, you can't say Sterling's been a lord. Like, Sterling's a great player and he
That's
scored
fair
loads
enough.
of goals. But if you're judging him on Chelsea when he's gone to Chelsea over the last 3 seasons, he's been terrible. Let's not sit here and say he's been a lord. Come on, man.
Yeah, I just thought it's the word.
I like him, and
It's
I
the
hope he
word,
does
yeah.
well at Arsenal. I genuinely do, but he's had some great. But you cannot say he's been a lord over the last 3 seasons in the Premier League.
That's a good point, well made, O'Hara.
But he's come home now. He's Jamaican, and obviously Arsenal is the only Jamaican club.
I'm not voting on this one, in fact. I'm abstaining. You two can hold the floor because I like him and I think that he's been done really, really dirty by the club.
So you're not going to support him after that wonderful.
No, he made a good point,
What?
which is rare.
Right, Declan Rice.
Yeah. So this should be
I
unanimous.
mean,
right?
that's a unanimous decision, right? What the fuck?
Although it's dipped a little bit. Like, do you remember about a year ago, people were talking about the comparisons Rice-Rodri? That's over, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's just the media, man. Jesus
but-
Christ, you know how the media
but-
is. I say anything.
Rodri's proved that he's probably just about a better player.
Do you think
But I don't
Declan,
think he's a million miles off it.
were you slightly disappointed at all with Declan Rice during the Euros?
No.
Did you expect more from him at that level?
No.
They got to the final, you know. England actually got to the final and lost 2-1. It's like, any more I expected was them to win, and then we all forget about the shady performances. So, now, well done, boys, man.
Declan Rice
all
is
of
the
them.
Lord. Antonio Conte.
Oh, he's a king. He is a king.
I mean,
Why is he there?
why is he in there, for
Yeah.
one, but I'm going to put him down as a fraud.
I'm putting him as a lord.
He's a lord. He's one of the best managers that Chelsea have ever had. It
And
was
Tottenham.
that year that we that we won the league. He was amazing. In his second season, that was considered bad, we finished 5th and beat Manchester United in the cup final. The way that he improved players, he made Victor Moses one of the best right backs in the league. He made Marcos Alonso one of the best. He was brilliant. He was brilliant for us, and I love him forever.
Okay. I'm putting him down as a fraud. Didn't do the business at Tottenham and threw the towel in.
I can understand. It was weird, wasn't it? Do you remember when Tottenham Hotspur had a manager that hated them?
Yeah.
Like openly in press conferences, hated the club.
What?
So weird.
So many.
Mikel Arteta.
Can you be... Lord is a huge word, right? Can you be
I
a
know,
lord
but-
until you've what... Like Pep Guardiola's a lord, isn't he? Sir Alex Ferguson's a lord. Is Pep Guardiola...
You can't. Yeah,
there's
you
levels to Lord,
you
man.
can't say fraud, can you?
One trophy in 4 years?
I think you have to put him down as a lord, but he's not like the lord.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
he's there's a category of lord, and he's on it, but he needs to win the Premier League to become the lord.
I like that.
Okay.
Is that
Yeah,
fair?
I can agree with that.
And Postecoglou.
You've gone crazy, bro.
Honestly.
What have you got?
Lord, mate. Come on, mate. The player's an absolute footballer.
Are you crazy?
He's been there one season.
And look what he's done
finished
already,
fifth.
bro.
All right, mate. Yeah, all right, mate. Like, there's nothing.
That doesn't make him a fraud. He's Australian.
himself.
There is nothing regal about that man. Literally
What are you
nothing.
going on about?
There is nothing regal about that. How can you call that man a lord? There is nothing particularly impressive about him. There's nothing particularly innovative about the way that he does his business. There's nothing particularly impressive about the way that Tottenham Hotspur play. There's nothing.
What are you going on about?
What on earth are we doing?
What are you going on about?
Lord Postecoglou.
Yes.
You two have made a mockery of this entire segment.
No, we haven't.
The pair of you. You
The
should
fact
hang
that
your
Tottenham
head.
had a goal scoring problem, he makes Son come in the middle to accommodate that issue, and then everyone goes, he's a striker. Then he flips it and puts him back left wing, and he's still performing. I can even talk about the midfield. Listen,
You've also brought up that Chelsea performance when they were defending on the halfway line with 9 men.
of course, and then
Fraudulent.
yeah, but come on, man, take a risk. I like
Fraudulent.
risks.
Fraudulent.
Take a risk, people.
I mean, I can't
Lords
be
of
bothered
the
to even
fraud.
argue. I can't be
Oh, I've
bothered.
done the wrong one. And upside down,
It
and the
is an
mayor.
interesting one. Daniel Levy.
He's a fraud, isn't he? He's a fraud. Because he's not doing the right thing by Tottenham Hotspur.
I'm going to go fraud, just because of the fact that we haven't won a trophy and he hasn't been ambitious enough with the signings. But what he has done is put the football club in
You're
an
gonna talk about the
unbelievable
stadium
position.
here?
No, he's put the football club in an unbelievable position now for the next 100 years. That Spurs are going to be a big football club.
Because of the stadium. It's great.
Because of the stadium, because of the facilities,
Beyonce.
because of
Classic
because-
stadium.
Yeah, great. Beyonce.
because
wants to
of
play
where
there.
the football club is in stature now. But in terms of winning trophies, he's an absolute fraud.
Yeah, fantastic for the NFL, fantastic for Beyonce, but almost insignificant because Tottenham win nothing.
Are you mad?
You'd love Daniel Levy as your
I
owner.
hate it.
Maybe, you know what? Lord. Daniel Levy is a lord. There's also places in the Tottenham ground where beer just miraculously comes from
From the bottom. Yeah, that's
Come on,
witchcraft, isn't it? I've
Aye,
seen-
man.
That is witchcraft.
This guy's
How do you do that?
Furthermore, they've got go-karting in the Tottenham Stadium. I don't want to say
You know
it.
what's really disappointing is
So
an
he sounds like a
Arsenal
lord.
fan is talking about our stadium bank and he's mentioning go-karts.
Two League
What's wrong
Cups
with
since
that?
1991, though. That's the whole point, isn't it?
Because in the go-karting you can win a trophy. So I think there's an opportunity somewhere to be a winner at Spurs.
Right, last one, Todd Bowley. Oh, mate, he's a massive
Mate.
fraud.
I mean, the whole Clear Lake, Egg Barley deserves a mention here.
He's got Lord.
Absolute lord.
What?
You need,
No, you
I'm
can't do that.
changing
No,
my
you
mind a
can't do
lot.
that. Because what you're doing here is
Yeah.
you are embracing and relishing the demise of Chelsea Football Club. And even though you don't support Chelsea
No.
or like Chelsea, you must appreciate that Chelsea existing is a better thing for the Football League. And he is crippling the club.
But you don't understand. In life, sometimes we need something that's a little bit left for our entertainment. Selfish, I know. But Chelsea getting 50 players in August, to me, is amazing. Imagine that on Football Manager. I'm thinking about FIFA. I got bare players I can choose from this team. Honestly, I'm just looking at the
Mate,
benefits
he's a
of the
fraud.
situation.
He's a fraud. And do you know what else he did?
Wait,
Todd
pause.
Bowley? Do you know
He's
what-
entertaining.
Do you know what
It is
he did?
entertaining.
Can you believe-
It is
Can I ask a
entertaining.
question
Go
though?
on.
Just so, because now I'm confused again. You think he's a fraud, but you think Chelsea are going to get top 4. And you've been out of top 4 for so long, that would be a good achievement. So how is the fraud going to get top 4? You can explain in 30 seconds.
I can easily explain.
29.
When he took the club over, Chelsea were the best team in the world. That's official. Chelsea had won the European Cup, became the best club team in the world when we won the Club World Championship. So that's the club that he took over. Now I'm saying we might get top 4.
When did he take it over?
Fraud. 3 years ago. He took
Who
over
won the league?
Man City.
But the best team in the world can't win their own league. You have 7 seconds to go.
We were officially the best team in the world. We won it in Dubai. We won it.
In Dubai. I bought Jamaican food in Dubai, reggae sauce. What are you talking about?
Do you know what he did as well? Listen to the arrogance of this. He's never worked in European sport, never worked in football, never done it. Made himself Chelsea sporting director.
Amazing.
You believe that? It's like putting yourself up front.